On this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this little pendant or charm. So you can see how you can hang it on your favorite amigurumi. If you like this little dog, it's a crochet corgi puppy dog. And there's a separate video tutorial for it. But on this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how I made this adorable little charm. It has a little granny square inside of it. I'll show you another one. This one is not able to twist as much, but you can see the little yarn balls in there and the little crochet hook. Here are a few more that I made. I'm going to be giving these away in a free giveaway, and you can find out more about my contests and giveaways on my blog at www.helenmaycrochet.com. You can see that there's a little tiny crochet hook in there, as well as a little granny square and some little yarn balls. So I'm going to be showing you how I made these. I just love them. I'm trying not to use them on all of my amigurumi because I have to give some away. There's some little yarn balls in there. And then this one's an orange one. So you can have fun with the colors. And then you can see how I made a lot of them. They're a lot of fun to make. So for this crochet project, you're going to need a very tiny hook. So this one is a 1.25 millimeter crochet hook, and it's a Tulip brand. I love Tulip brand. They're very comfortable, and I love the gold tip, and they're very smooth to work with and easy to work with. So I have a whole Tulip set. You're also going to need a very slender tapestry or darning needle, and I use one with the pointed end, and also a pair of scissors. This is what the little glass jar looks like. Now this one I ordered on Amazon, but you can find these in the craft store too. I found these in one of the craft stores, and this is Flea Market Fancy. You get clear glass jars, and they're 0.07 ounce or 2 cc's, mLs each, and there's 8 in this package. And this one has a little bit of a wider shape than the other one, but it would still work. So the measurement for this one, it's about 1 inch in height, and I'm going to give you the width. The width is approximately 10 millimeters. Now in this package, it doesn't come with the little hooks that go on top so you can hang them as a charm, but the one that I ordered on Amazon came with a pack of these. But you can buy these separately. Just look for these in the craft store, and you can see how it has a little screw on it that goes into the cork, and then it has a little opening for hanging as a charm. So these are all the hooks that I have left. So I only have 3 left. But you can use, I've seen people use wooden hooks, but I love these polymer clay hooks, and I ordered mine from Pastiche Accessories, Etsy online. She does a really beautiful job, and you might like some of her other items that she makes too. Then you're going to need to use embroidery floss to get the granny square small enough. I like this kit that I got on sale at the craft store. You get all these different fun colors, so you have plenty left over for other craft projects. So you don't have to get as much as I did. You can get a smaller pack if you want to, or specific colors, but again, it should be the embroidery floss. And I found it helpful to have a project card or something that you can loop your embroidery floss on so it doesn't get tangled. So I'm going to start with my pink embroidery floss, and I cut about 48 inches for mine, and I separated the floss. So for mine, I grabbed 2 of the embroidery floss strands, and the easiest way that I found to remove the other strands is to slowly pull on it. So you can see how I'm pulling on it. And you want to be careful you don't create knots. So you just take and hold on to the two pieces that you want to crochet with, and then just pull on the rest of the strands to separate the two pieces that you want from the rest of the strands. And to me that worked the easiest without making it into knots. And if it does knot up, then save those for the yarn balls. So now I have the two strands separated. So I'm going to crochet with two of the embroidery floss strands, and then the leftovers I'm going to put back onto my project card so I can use it later. So for mine, I just take and bring it through the opening, and then I just pull it. Caught on the corner. Make sure it doesn't knot up. And then I pull about halfway, and then I just take and tie it one time. So I don't tie it into a knot. Just one time. And then I can leave this to the side for later. So now I have my pink strand. Now what I'm going to do, because it's difficult to see the embroidery floss, I am going to show you how I crochet with the embroidery floss, but first I'm going to show you with regular yarn and a larger crochet hook, so you can see the stitches with the larger yarn, and then I'll show you with the smaller hook and the smaller yarn. So the first thing that I do is I take the embroidery floss and I fold it over on itself to form a loop, and then I take my crochet hook and go right through the loop. Hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb. Then you're just going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for your slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down, and then cinch the yarn around your crochet hook. And then you're going to make a chain of 4. So yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop. Made the loop a little snug. For your first chain, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for your second chain. Third, fourth. Then you're going to make a slip stitch into that first chain that you made. So take your crochet hook, go into that first chain that you made, and then you're going to turn your work so you can slip stitch into a circle. So you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch into a circle. Then you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go into the center of the circle, and you're going to bring up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both for a single crochet. And then you're going to chain 1. And then that's going to count as your first half double crochet. Then you're going to make 2 more half double crochet into the center of the circle. So you yarn over, go into the center of the circle, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. Then you're going to make 1 more half double crochet. So now you have 3 half double crochet. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to make 3 more half double crochet into the center of the circle. There's 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to chain 2 again and repeat until you have a set of 4 total half double crochet into the center of the circle. So you chain 2 and then 3 half double crochet into the center of the circle. So this is my third set. There's 1, 2, 3. Then you chain 2 again, and then make 3 more half double crochet into the center of the circle, and then come back. So then I have a set of four sets of 3 half double crochet. Now you're going to chain 2 again, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top stitch of that first chain, single crochet and chain 1 that you made, which was your first half double crochet in the round. So you just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. So that's what you're going to do, except in miniature. So now you're going to get your small crochet hook and then do the same thing with the embroidery floss. So again, you're going to take the embroidery floss, fold it over on itself to form a loop. Take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and your thumb. And then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. So you go ahead and cinch that knot down, and then you chain 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to slip stitch into the first chain that you made. So you go right into that first chain that you made, and then turn your work, and you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the floss through both loops to form a little circle. I'm going to see if I can zoom in. So you see how you can make the little circle. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, go right through the center, and you're going to bring up a loop, and then make a single crochet. So you just yarn over and go through both loops. Then you're going to chain 1. So that counts as your first half double crochet. And then you're going to make 2 more half double crochet into the center of the circle. So you yarn over, go right into the center of the circle, bring up a loop, I don't know if I got into the center. Try that again. I think I got cut up on the side of the circle. So you want to make sure you get into the center of the circle. So I'm going to try that one more time. So I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to go right down the center. And then I'm going to bring up a loop. There we go. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. And then you're going to make 1 more, go right down the center, and make 1 more. Then you're going to chain 2, and then repeat until you have 4 sets of 3 half double crochet into the center of the circle, just like we did with the larger yarn. So now you can see that I have 4 sets of 3 half double crochets into the center of the circle. So now, after you make your chain of 2, you're going to make a slip stitch into that top stitch of the first chain 2 that you made. So you just bring the yarn through both. Then you're going to slip stitch into the first chain 2 space. So into the next stitch, you're going to slip stitch. Somebody's sending me a message. And then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space. I'm having to do this at a distance, so usually I have it up close. Let me try that one more time. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Then you're ready to change or add colors. So you're going to change colors now. But this is how the first part of the granny square will look. So now I'm bringing in my second color, and I'm using blue for mine. So I'm going to bring up a loop with blue colored yarn. Then you can cut the previous colored yarn, but save the rest of the embroidery floss because you're going to use the rest of this embroidery floss. Let me just show you. So make sure you leave a little bit of a loose yarn in for burying into your work. And then the rest of the embroidery floss you're going to save for the little yarn ball. So just keep that to the side for now. And then you're going to tie a knot. So just take the 2 loose yarn ends, and then you're just going to take and tie a knot with it. Then you're going to take, and I like to bury my loose yarn ends, but you can bury them later if you want to. So I'm just going to move my loose yarn ends out of the way. And then in this chain 2 space that you slip stitched into, you're going to make 3 half double crochets. So the first half double crochet is a chain 2. So you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1 and 2. And then you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to, this is where I'm going to bury my loose yarn ends. So I'm going to bring them to the side so I can bury them. And then I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the same chain 2 space, go behind the loose yarn ends, and then bring up a loop. So now I have 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3. Sometimes I can't quite get through that last one, so I'll just bring up both loops on the hook and then grab that loop again and bring it through the last loop. So that's a little trick that I do. So now I have 2 half double crochets. I need 1 more. Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to make 3 more half double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So I have 1 more. So you can see how I have 3 half double crochet, chain 2, and 3 half double crochet into the chain 2 space. So now I can cut those 2 loose yarn ends that I buried. Make sure you don't cut any of your other yarn. Sometimes I feel like I'm performing surgery the smaller smaller hook. But it's harder for me because I'm having it at a distance for the video. So usually I have it right in front of my face. So now you're just going to chain 1. And then you're going to repeat the 3 half double crochet, chain 2, 3 half double crochet into the next chain 2 space. So I'm going to yarn over, go into that chain 2 space. I'm going to bring up a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops for a half double crochet. And then you're going to make 2 more half double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Then you're going to chain 2 and then make 3 more half double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Then you're going to chain 1 again and then repeat. So go ahead, finish the 3 half double crochet, chain 2, 3 half double crochet into the next 2 chain 2 spaces, and you can see how you should have 4 when you're finished, 1 in each corner. And then come back. Now you can see how I have each corner, each of the chain 2 spaces filled. Then you're just going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into that top stitch of that first chain 2 that you made. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then you're going to go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and then just pull the rest of the embroidery floss through and cinch that down. And that's all there is to it. So now we're going to bury the loose yarn ends. So I'm just going to trim, leave enough of a loose yarn end for burying, and then save the blue yarn to make the yarn ball. Set that aside. Then you're going to get your tapestry needle and you're going to take and place the loose yarn end into the tapestry needle. If you need your DMC yarn threader, you can use that to help you thread the needle. Then you're just going to take and weave the loose yarn end towards the wrong side of your work and then just bury it. I usually go under the 3 half double crochet sets and just pull it through one time, and then I just trim it. So go ahead, finish burying your loose yarn ends and then come back. So now you have your cute little granny square. I'm just going to give you the measurements of it. So mine measures approximately 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So then what you're going to do is get your glass jar and then take your granny square and then fold it in half. You want the side that you want showing to be on the outside, so fold the 2 wrong sides together. And then I have the right side facing outwards. Then you're going to take your jar and you're just going to press the granny square into the jar. Now I found that my larger tapestry needle was useful to tip this end, but if you can grab something, not the hook, you don't want to use the hook because it'll grab your yarn. So something that will be slender enough to poke, to help you poke the granny square into the jar. And then I like this too because it'll help me, I can open it up and press it the way that I want into the jar. So it works really well for that. Then I make one of the yarn balls. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So this is the rest of that embroidery floss from the leftover from where I crocheted the middle of the granny square. I'm just going to take and put it onto my slender tapestry needle. So this is the one with the slender eye. Then you're going to take the opposite side and you're going to take and just scrunch it up into a ball. So just take and make a ball with the other end. You want to leave some of the end that's on the tapestry needle because that's what you're going to use to sew the ball in place. So once you have a nice little ball made, then you can take and start going through the center with your tapestry needle. Be careful you don't poke yourself. Just go right through the center and then cinch down the floss. And keep going through it, just in and out. And you're going to be forming a ball. And sometimes I'll go through and tie a knot too. And then you just form a ball. Just keep going round and round until you have the shape that you want your yarn ball. So make sure that you don't make your yarn ball too large because then it won't fit into the jar. So once you're happy with the size of it, then I usually go through it twice to tie a knot. And then after I tied 2 knots, I go right down the center. And then I trim. Sometimes you can leave a little bit of a loose yarn end on the end. It just looks like part of the yarn string on the ball. But if you don't like that, you can always trim it down. I'm going to trim mine down a little bit more. So you can have the little bit of a yarn strand or not, whatever you want to do. And then once you have the finished yarn ball, you can place it into the glass jar. So I like to poke mine down into the jar with my larger blunt end tapestry needle, and then I just push it, and then you can kind of push it the way that you want it showing in the jar. Then you can take and add the crochet hook. So then I just take and place the crochet hook in there, and I want to move the crochet hook so that it's showing. So you can kind of push it around with the tapestry or darning needle. And then you can add more yarn balls. So I have a little blue one that I'm going to add in there. And then I also have a yellow one. So you can make them larger too if you want. Let's see if I can get that larger one in there. And then you just want to make sure that you have your hook showing. And then I have my yarn balls in there, and I have the granny square. So then you're ready to put the cork on. So now I have my cork. And then I'm just going to press that right on top. Press it right into there. Then you're ready to get the little screw that goes on top. Then you just put the little screw on top and then just twist it into the cork on top. That way you can hang your little charm. And see how it twists right into there. And it stays really well too. And then you have your little amulet or little charm. And then you can just wrap up the embroidery floss on your project card for when you're ready to use it again.